Yeah, I think it's wonderful. So just Steve, today, if you could, tell me a little bit about yourself and your company, Pros Marketplace, because I think, I see a lot of different companies. I see a lot of CEOs, executives, and not many of them make a lasting impression where they're doing something pretty outstanding for other people in their life. And so I would just love to learn a little bit more.
Oh, sure, sure. Anyway, I'm Steve Kohler, I'm the CEO for Pros Marketplace, and um, actually, we live in Minnesota. My wife and I. My wife is Jill,
Okay.
and I'm a retired engineer, and she's a retired nurse. And about 4 or 5 years ago, our son Brian, who's disabled, was looking for a business venture, and him and my wife came up with this idea that this concept of an employment service. Maybe we could find an employment service and do a website where we're connecting employers from Latin America with remote, or rather, we're connecting employers from North America with remote workers from Latin America. And it seemed like a good concept. It seemed like it had, a good basis for. And so anyway, they started this company and they ran it and they put their heart and soul into it. They plugged away. Well, towards the end of 2022, Brian's health, we knew that his health was failing, and it was like, what are we going to do with this company?
Mhm.
And uh, Brian and Jill said, well, Jill says, I don't want to do it. She says, I've done it. I want to move on with my life. And so anyway, I we decided, well, we need to figure out something. We put a lot of time and effort in it, and this company has a lot of potential. We should really figure out what we should do is, if and it seemed it was heartbreaking to shut it down because, like I said, my son had put so much time into it. It was so. Anyway, we sat down as a family and had a family meeting and says, where do we go? Are we going to go ahead with this and the pros and cons back and forth and what we came out of that meeting with is that that this is rather than looking at it as a failure, let's look at it as an opportunity. Okay, if we can actually take this company, if we could do it, get it, it's a good concept, and there was signs that it could be very good. So we kind of took that and said, well, let's Brian's near and dear to his heart is spinal cord research. So he wanted he says, well, if we do something, let's have the money that this company makes go to spinal cord research. And it makes sense. I'm at the stage in my life, I'm not looking to make money, I just want to help society. Okay, and so this would be Brian's legacy in my eyes and in their eyes. So we said, this is a good concept, let's move forward, but we need to change it. We're not going to continue with the old company. We're going to start a new company. So we started Pros Marketplace, and I was in charge of it. And over the course of about 4 or 5 months, Brian and Jill trained me and educated me on how to run this business, all the ins and outs of it. So anyway, it was a real steep learning curve. Let me put it that way. And anyway, that's how Pros Marketplace got started, and it's coming along. We've got a great team pulled together. Brian helped put this together, kind of told me who our critical players were, and we pulled it together, and we're up and running, and things are going well. So that's Pros Marketplace in a nutshell.
Incredible. Thank you for sharing that story. And so just to reiterate, 100% of the company profits are donating, correct?
Yeah, the first year, yeah, we donated 100%, and that's our intent. Okay.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
so yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
both my wife and I are at the stage of our life that you know, extra money isn't going to help us,
Yeah.
and you know, everyone needs a purpose in life,
Mhm,
okay? And this is me speaking. I'm not telling
yep,
people what they should do, but
yeah,
they need a purpose, and it's helped give me a purpose to
yeah,
help benefit society. So,
yeah.
and Jill's been very good about this. She's been highly supportive of it, and and it's helping society. The other, we donated some to the majority of it to spinal cord research, and then
Okay.
nursing was Brian over the course of his life required a lot of care, and my wife being a nurse, so they also had a scholarship in his name.
Oh,
So
oh
so
my
anyway,
God.
so anyway,
Amazing.
it's going to go for good causes. Let me put it
Mhm.
that way. So
Yeah.
any of the profits. So
Well, that's incredible. And that talks a lot about the company core values because I think a lot of people today are looking for companies and, even at the executive team that they can work with that are doing good in the world. And so it just shows, tell us a little bit more about like the company core values because I know that there are a lot of people in those countries who would love to do remote work who have never heard of Pros Marketplace before, and then two, a lot of companies are taking a look at, okay, well, what provider should I work with to connect me to these companies? And this might help in like the decision making of selecting and working with Pros Marketplace. So what are kind of those
okay,
core values of Pros Marketplace that you
I'm
guys
gonna
have?
just
Yeah,
move something here. So like,
sure.
I need some little notes to jog my memory. So
Oh yeah, you're doing
uh,
great.
so anyway, no, because otherwise I can't recite by from
Yeah,
strictly memory. But
you're
I
doing
did write some kind of key notes that I thought were important. But
great. Hmm.
as a company, we kind of looked at this and we said, what should our core values be? And it's like, so we looked at lists. I mean, we looked at lists of 100 different what values people could have, companies could have. And
Yeah,
it's like, there's so many to choose from. It's like,
yeah.
what do we pick, and which ones
Hmm.
are critical? And the thought is that, in our lives, we probably have core values. And why should those core values be any different than our business core values? Because it should be, you shouldn't have values on one side. Okay, if I go to work for a company, there's my values over here. Here's my values in my personal life. And this whole work-life balance, why should it be different? Okay. So what we came up with is what we call the 5 F's. Okay. And this is it's probably unconventional. I'll agree with you on that, but it's it comes from the heart. And I think that's when people hear that, it they understand it. So our first one is faith, and our thought is it's a higher power, okay? And he helps guide us in our life, okay? He helps us in our decision making. And if we follow the general rules that you're good to people, you're honest, you're upfront, and you're looking out for their best interest. So anyway, the first one is faith. The second one is family, and what we look at is our immediate family, okay? And really, whether you're a family of one or a family of five, we all work for a purpose, okay? We all work to make our family better, okay? We want to provide for them, okay? So that was their second one is, and we work them because we love and cherish our family, okay? So that's our second F. And the third F is family again. And I know I can't repeat myself here, but I am, because I think if you look at the world, we're one large family. And some people refer to this as God's family, okay? That we're all one people, okay? And we shouldn't, no matter who we are, where we are with our life, we're all one God's people. So at Pros Marketplace, what we want to do is strive to treat each of our employers or employees rather as brothers and sisters, as if you were treating your brothers and sisters. Okay, you're friendly, you're kind, and you're compassionate and considerate. Okay, so that's our third F, and our fourth one is fitness. And I don't think you'll find too many companies that have a core value of fitness, but we need to take care of ourselves. Okay, we need to exercise, we need to spend that time, and there's so many benefits of the fitness, okay, and a multitude of things. Okay, you sleep better, you have a better you're happier, you're more content. There's a lot of things that come with fitness, okay. And the other thing it does is it prolongs our life, okay, so we have more time to spend with family and friends, okay. So it's a win-win. It's an obvious one, but like I said, it's not a conventional one that you would find on most companies. So,
Love
and
it.
yes. So the last F is financial, okay? And at the end of the day, we all need to pay the bills, okay? And if we focus on the first four, if we focus on those, okay, if we let our faith guide us and make good decisions, and if we're good people, people who want to be around us, will want to be part of our lives, okay? And if we work to meet the needs of our family, we'll work hard, okay? The second F. And if the third F is if we treat everyone like brothers and sisters, we're all family, okay? We're all in that, and it'll we'll be more compassionate, and it'll elevate us to be better people. So, um, and the last one is, if you care for your body, like I said, you're going to live longer, you're going to live a more content life. So, but our thought is that if you do all those things, you'll be more productive. You'll be happier, okay, and you'll be a better person at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
great.
that's
Those are great core
that's a
values. I
long-winded.
love them.
Yeah,
That's perfect. Great. And I love this story because most people would not, because your background is not as a CEO. Your background is in mechanical engineering, correct?
you're
And
right.
so
Yes.
the majority of people would not take on this role, and most people would quit. And so I love hearing about that because and I think talking about, like the struggles that you have faced, as taking this over, and just being transparent about that is also really helpful too, because yeah, I think that's phenomenal, and it just shows just about the company and then about yourself as well, of just diving into this and making that choice. So what are a few, what are the biggest challenges that you have faced since taking over the company?
Uh, I'm going for my second set of notes here.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
great.
no, um, the biggest challenge, with any company when you start it up, you've got so many irons in the fires.
Hmm.
You're getting pulled every direction, and unfortunately, what can happen is that your work life balance, it doesn't work out well. Okay, I mean, you don't contribute to the family time that you should, and I'm very fortunate in the sense that I've talked to my wife about this, and I've talked to the rest of my family, and they're highly supportive of me doing this. Okay, so they know that I'm doing it, and there's a good cause. So, what's fortunately happening now is we're through the majority of this work. So I'm refocusing more of my life back on my family and wife, and giving. I've been married for 48 years and to a
Oh,
wonderful wife,
congratulations. That's
and I want to make it to 49.
yeah.
So so I realize I need to give her some attention. So anyway, that's all in jest. But anyway, it's I'm spending more time with my family, which is good. So it's just a rebalance that I need to go through. So
That's great. Yeah, and I love the industry that you guys focus on for remote workers in Latin America because one, it's the same time zone, which is so smart if you think about it. But two, you see more and more companies who are in need of remote workers anywhere in the world. But what are your thoughts on the future of this industry that you guys are in?
it's a great industry to be in. COVID kind of brought us to the realization that remote workers are here and they are here to stay.
Yeah.
And it skyrocketed. The number of remote workers during COVID skyrocketed. And I think at the peak it was around 40 or 50% of the workforce was working remotely during the very hard years of COVID. But what's happened is that's gone down since COVID is diminished, and but anyway, right now it's about 1 in 4 workers are working remotely, and I think that's going to grow. There's a demand, and it's coming from the workers, and employers are trying to keep their employees happy, and 75% of the workforce wants to work remotely, fully remotely, and what we're seeing is, I think over the course of the next 3 to 5 years that we'll see, that from going from 1 to 4 to about 1 in 3 people will be working remotely. So it's going to steadily increase. I see it increasing. And the thing that why remote workers want to work, or why workers want to work remotely, is because they like the flexibility it offers them. Okay. If you look at Latin American workers specifically, they spend an hour and 20 minutes each day commuting back and forth to work. Okay. You take an hour and 20 minutes, and over the course of a week, now you're about 7 hours. You almost got a full work day of just traveling, okay, or commuting. So, you think about that, okay, in a work-life balance, okay, if I'm a worker or in Latin America, if I can get an hour and 20 minutes back each day, okay, that gives me more time with my family. It gives me more time so I can exercise. I can take time out of it. And so rather than commuting, you're exercising or spending time with your family. So it kind of, it helps improve the quality of life for the workers. So,
That's
and,
excellent.
and and what they say is that the happy worker is a more productive worker. So I think it's a win-win if for people like that.
Excellent. Great.
So,
And then also, if business owners or remote workers want to learn more about Pros Marketplace and work with you or see if there's an opportunity for them with you guys, where should they go? Where should they start?
the best place to start is prosmarketplace.com. If they go on our website, um, both the workers and employers, there's a simple 5-step process that you go through from the registration to either getting hired if you're a worker, or employing a worker if you're, employing a worker if you're an employer. So it's a very simple process. And if they ever have any questions on the website, we have a chat service that's open during normal business hours that'll be able to answer your questions. So there's always help, and we're always going to help them. And we've got great people staffing that. So they should be able to get through it. And if they don't, we'll be able to answer the questions for them.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, if they're anything like you, yes, they will be extremely helpful in providing opportunities and getting their questions answered. So that's great. And then just one last question. How can people support, or what is the organization for spinal cord research that you guys are supporting, and how can people support that organization as well after hearing this today?
Actually, on our homepage, we just added this past week. There's a organization that we're working with. It's called Wings for Life, and we've done our research, and we believe this is the best charity out there that supports looking for a cure, trying to find a cure for spinal cord injuries, or helping those people with spinal cord injuries. And there's millions of people out there with spinal cord injuries, and if we can benefit or make their life better, that's our reward for this. So, but it's on our homepage, and there is a link, and there's a banner that goes across it towards the bottom of our homepage, and you click on that link, and you can connect to Wings for Life and donate if you wish. So,
Great. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for your time today. I really appreciate it. And thank you again for what your company is doing. It's going to change millions of lives and have an impact that you guys won't even have of it. You won't even realize. But that is so excellent that 100% of the profits are going to be donated each year with your company. And so hopefully we can help get the word out. If people are interested in remote work or working with you and have job opportunities as well, they can just go to prosmarketplace.com. And then, yeah, hopefully we can hear more exciting things about your company growing in the future and then also making those large donations. That's just wonderful. So,
well, thank you, Vicky and
yeah,
Nikki.
yeah, no,
I'm
that's okay.
sorry.
Great.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so
yeah.
much for your time today, Steve. This was so much fun. I really appreciate it. And I will hopefully talk to you very soon.
Well, I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule. I sure appreciate everything you've done for me.
Yeah, sounds great. Have a great day, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.